what we discovered then is that big factories are more efficient than little ones. Big organizations where people are doing what they're told work. The River Rouge plant that Ford built was so big it took all day to get from one side to the other. That this idea that there's a top-down method not only works for cars, it works for almost everything. So this is an old slide, 8 years ago. How far every person in the United States lives from a McDonald's. Now you can imagine that now it's even more yellow and less dark because McDonald's figured out that management works. That a McDonald's manager is not supposed to innovate, not supposed to start selling spaghetti during the slow times to see what happens. That the job of people at McDonald's is to crank it out. That cranking it out and doing what we're told again and again, that works until it doesn't. And when the world changes, we're in trouble. When the world changes, management always fails, because we don't understand how to go forward. And that's fine, you say, I don't live on Easter Island. It's fine, I don't have a book depository. Well, it's not fine if, say, for example, you used to work in newspaper publishing because you can see what happened. It's not fine if you used to be a travel agent because you can see what happened. It's not fine if you're one of the 4 million people who drive a truck in the United States for a living because self-driving cars. And it's not fine if you live on the planet Earth and the weather changes. Because the thing is, the world is changing whether you want it to or not. And it's changing faster than ever before. So in the face of all of that change, we're not going to be able to manage our way out of it. We're going to have to lead. And leadership is not the same as management. Okay, so the next idea is that responsibility and authority are different things. That managers need authority. They tell people what to do. But leaders need to take responsibility. So I'll give you a little example. If you do a Google search for the great Arturo Toscanini, you have to type in the great Arturo Toscanini, you get all these pictures of the maestro. He was the most famous and important music conductor of the 40s, 50s in the United States. He worked with Disney. He was the conductor of the NBC Orchestra. So when he recorded Beethoven's Fifth, he could record it like this. It's a dirge, it's slow, it's a chance for the great man to show everyone that he knows exactly what he's doing. And it became the standard. That's the way it's supposed to sound. Well, my friend Ben Zander, who is not the self-appointed great Ben Zander, who has no fancy job, who has no fancy orchestra, he recorded a version of Beethoven's Fifth recently, and it sounded like this. And people say that's wrong. It's too fast. How dare you? Well, Ben can point out that's the way Beethoven wrote it, but the thing is, the how dare you part is really interesting because he has no authority. The key is he's taking responsibility. He's saying, it's on me. I did the math, I did the research. If you don't like it, you don't have to follow, but it's on me. The great Viktor Frankl said that one of the problems with the United States is that we have a Statue of Liberty, but we don't have a Statue of Responsibility. And this is the reason why people have trouble stopping being managers and starting to do leadership. That managers say, do this because I said so. And leaders are able to say, let's go over there. Who wants to come? That if you've got a special hat that says you're the boss, you're probably a manager. But that what leaders are able to do, what leaders are required to do, is not ask or demand authority, but insist on taking responsibility.